Hi everybody and welcome to my Unruly Housewife channel. Today I am talking about polymer clay tools, and the one I'm talking about today is the acrylic block, if I can say it. This is one that I bought 2.5 years ago. It cost me £7 and I thought it looks kind of boring. Why have I bought this? But in actual fact it's turned out to be one of my best tools. So now I'm going to show you 7 things that you can do with an acrylic block, and I think you're going to realise it's worth the investment. Okay, it's a very quick video this, hopefully. The last thing that I'm doing is kind of difficult, so who knows, it could be 20 minutes. Okay, the first thing that you can use it for is what it was designed for, which is to hold cling stamps, and that's cling, not clean. This is one with my initial on it, and they're really good, these blocks, because you can see through, you can see what you're doing, and stamps don't just have to be used for printing, you can use them on your polymer clay, and it makes a really nice job. So thing number 2 is you can use it to soften clay. We all know that when you're softening clay in your fingers, it can be quite a tough task, and I'm using like Fimo. I think there's some Fimo Classic in here, so it's really tough. Now if you some ladies buy a machine that costs quite a lot of money, which helps to soften the clay, and it flattens the clay between acrylic blocks. So I think I'm not that bad. I haven't got arthritis, and I just want a slightly simpler way of getting my clay moving and getting it warm so that it'll work properly. And I thought, well, I can just use my acrylic block. It's much easier on my fingers. I can put all my weight down on it. And there's the camera wobbling, but hopefully you can see. And that would just help me to soften up my clay in a very simple way. 3, flattening shapes. Here we've got a shape. It's round, it's a ball of clay, and I want to make it into a square of clay. And your acrylic block is perfect for doing that. I almost did it when I was softening that clay, didn't I? And it just gives it a very neat edge. So that's your square of clay. You could make an oblong. Do people say oblong anymore? I'm not sure. It's quite... People don't seem to say oblong. They say rectangle, don't they? Oblong's kind of like an old word. Anyway, number 4, rolling snakes. Okay, so here you've got some clay. You want to make it into a snake. But you want the snake to be neat. I mean, obviously if I'm going to use it to be like a plant or something, I can roll it with my fingers. If I want it to be, if I've got a lot of clay that I want to make into very, very sharp kind of snakes, I can use my extruder. But if I want something that's neat and not too organic looking, and I don't want to get the extruder out, it's not worth it, I can use my acrylic block. And again, I can see through it, so I can see if it's getting a bit fat at one end, which this was. And when I roll it like that, I get a nice smooth finish to my snake, and that's what I want. We're really going through these. It's just a very simple tutorial, really. It's just sharing ideas. Reducing canes. Again, if I was going to reduce a cane, you know, a really big cane, and do it properly, I would put on maybe cane caps from tinypandora.com. I might I'd be squeezing it in the middle and doing all kinds of things like that. There's a leaf cane that I made a long time ago. But if I just want to add an extra ½ an inch onto my cane or something, I just got something I want to do quickly, I might warm my cane up a little bit and then roll it with my acrylic block, and that will just quite evenly lengthen the cane, make it thinner and longer. And again, I can see what's happening to it as I work, and sometimes I just flatten the ends a little bit too. Tube beads I'm doing next, and this this is a little bit more tricky, so I hope I can do it. Tube beads are, I'm going to move this out of the way, really fun to do. There are clever ways to decorate them, and I'm not doing anything clever here, so I might even do a tutorial on tube beads because I do love them. I made some lovely ones before, but this one's just some scrap clay, and I'm going to show you how to use your acrylic block to make tube beads. Just get a skewer, because these are going to be quite chunky, put it through the middle. Now I've not got a lot of clay here, so I'm not doing anything ginormous. That's more or less through the middle. As I always say, you would take more time and do this better. And then you can use your acrylic block to roll the clay. Try and keep the height of the skewer fairly level, which is not it's not an easy thing to do. These are kind of a weird mixture. I suppose they're simple but not easy, if you know what I mean. Like they're straightforward but they're kind of fiddly to do. Now if I was to use this to roll it, which is my first instinct, it would just make the hole in the middle a lot bigger. So I'm not doing that. I'm just going to use this to flatten it just a little. As with canes, the middle kind of sucks in as you roll because it pushes the outside out. But we'll soldier on. I hope the camera's not getting too wobbled by this. And there's my tube bead. Now obviously if I had more clay and I did it more, it would be longer. But I just want to give you the idea. And then cut it. I made like whole sets of beads, you know, right along long skewers. But this is just a quickie. There you have a little tube bead. And that's quite fun to do. And number 7, oh my goodness, this is the one I've been dreading. Lentil beads. I'm going to try and make this into a lentil bead now. This is not my best skill. So I'm going to try and do it anyway. And what you do is you hold the acrylic block parallel and you roll the ball of clay until it goes like a lentil. Now, I don't even know why is it a lentil? I don't know. A lentil's that shape? Anyway, I'm going to do this now. There will be other tutorials on YouTube showing you how to do this. And this isn't a lentil bead tutorial. This is just me showing you things you can do with your acrylic block. Do bear that in mind. I have quite low self-esteem when it comes to lentil beads. I made a video once on Facebook and it was so funny that the bead ended up in my lap at one point. Here we go. Round and round and round. I'm just going to try and give you the basic idea of what you can achieve. I must say that I was roundly mocked last time. Even really nice people mocked me. Okay, so that's it's kind of smudgy, horrible colour, but you can see there the kind of effect you get from your lentil bead. You can flatten it off if you want to. Not the best one in the world, but that's the number. Whoops, sorry. That's the number 7 thing that you can do with your acrylic block. So, an acrylic block, kind of boring looking, but actually very useful. If you enjoyed this video, do give me a big thumbs up. Leave any comments and questions down below. And goodness knows, that was so exciting. I imagine you are rushing to subscribe to my channel. I love you all. Bye bye.